Well, hello, welcome again to our reading of the Greek New Testament, and I'm reading through Revelation up to chapter 11. I'll do this in two parts because it's quite a long chapter. Kai edothe moi kalamos hamoios rabdo legon egere kai metreson ton naon tu theou kai tothusiasterion kai tus proskuntas in auto. Now we get an aorist passive here from didomi, edothe. Didomi, the root of didomi is do. So you take the root, you augment, and there's your aorist passive ending there. Now kalamos is a reed, and so a reed was given to me, homoios rabdo, like to a staff. A rabdos is a stick or a staff. It's a second declension feminine noun. Not masculine but feminine, it's her rabdos. Legon, saying. We get the imperatives here. Egere, kai metreson ton naon tu theou. So, egero is to raise, so it's something like get up, and metreson from metrio, another aorist imperative here, present imperative, aorist imperative. So measure the naon, the shrine or the temple. This is the holier part of the temple of God, and the thusiasterion, the altar, and those worshipping, participle from proskuneo, those worshipping en auto, in it. Kai ten aulen ten exothen tu nau ekbale exothen, kai me auten metreses. And we get, there's a variant reading here. Now the ekbale is an imperative, but it's a slightly odd use here. It means to throw out, but here in the sense of reject or leave out, in the sense of don't include. So the aule is the courtyard. So the courtyard, the one, and there's a variant reading here, the one from the outside of the temple. So we just say the one on the outside of the temple, ekbale, leave it out, and we get exo then again, outside. So hence some texts have variant readings here. Some of reading esothen here for the inside. Anyway, you need to look at the commentaries on this. I just translate what's here. So the courtyard, the one outside of the temple, leave it out, outside, and do not metreses, subjunctive from metrio again with me as an imperative, do not measure autain it, that is the courtyard. Hoti edothe tois ethnosin, because it has been given to the Gentiles, the ethnos, to the nations. It's dative plural from ethnos, third declension neuter noun, and the holy and the city, the holy city, pate susin menas tesseraconta duo. Because it has been given over to the Gentiles, and now patio is to walk. You get peripatio, to walk around, but patio can mean to trample as well, can be a stronger meaning, and this is a future here from pateo. They will trample the holy city, that must refer to Jerusalem, for 42 menas, for 42 months. Kai doso tois dusin martusin mu kai prophetususin hemeras kilias diakosias hexeconta peribeblemene sacus. And I will give, future from didomi, to the two witnesses. Now this is a dative plural from martur. If you're looking this up, it's martur, and this is a dative plural. Sorry, mater, I should say. Mater is the nominative, marturusin. You do get marturusin, I think, as well. So this is just the dative plural from that verb, from that noun. Dusin for Greek, other Greek would just say duo. here it declines, it just means two witnesses. So I will give to my two witnesses, or I will grant to my two witnesses, and prophetus susin, notice the sigma, so they will prophesy, future, for, now we get practice with our numbers here, 1,260 1,260 days, and they will be peribeblam menoi, we've seen that one before, clothed in sackcloth. This is sackos, this is accusative plural, second declension. Sackos is sackcloth, it's a sort of thing you wear as a sign of mourning. So clothed in sackcloth. Hutoi asin hoi duo elii, kai hoi duo luknii, hyenopion tu kuriutes gaes hestotes. These are the two, well, the elii, I think is the olive trees here, and the two lamps, the luknii, lampstands, I think. So the two olive trees and the two lampstands, which understand are hestotes, participle from histemi, which are standing enopion in the before, literally in the face of, so before the Lord tes gaze of the earth. So just to recap on that bit there, so I will grant to my two witnesses, I'll give them permission, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the two elii, I think that's the olive trees, and the two lampstands, the ones before the Lord of the one standing before the Lord of the earth. Kai aetis autus thele adicasai por ek poruetai ek tu stomatos auton, kai catestiae tu sectrus auton. And if 'tis someone, thele wishes, adicasai from adicio, to do harm to do wrong to do harm to autus them, fire proceeds from ek poruamai, middle, fire proceeds ek tu stomatos auton, from the mouth of them, from their mouth, and catesthia, now there's that catesthia we had in the previous chapter, meaning to devour, and this is just the present, it devours their enemies, tus ecthrus auton. Kai aetis thelae autus adicasai, hutos de auton apoctanthenai. And if someone, and we get a subjunctive after a here, subjunctive from thelo, slightly irregular with a linking vowel here, but that's what you get with this verb thelo. So if someone might wish adicasai, to do harm to them, thus it is necessary auton for him, that's the one who wants to do harm, apoctanthenai, to be killed. Passive, aorist passive from apoctano. Again, this form's quite rare, as I mentioned, we've seen it before in this work. Hutoi akusin tes exousia klesai tu ton uridon, hiname huetos breke. They, that's referring back to the earlier group that are standing in front of God. So they, ekusin, have, tain exousian, the authority. Klese is an infinitive from kleo, to shut the heaven. Hiname, huetos is rain, and breke is a subjunctive after hina. Breko is the verb to rain, to pour forth down water. So in order that rain might not, wet or rain or come down upon, so breko, you could say might not wet or might not occur, rain might not occur. Tas hemeras tes propheteas auto. For the days, so it's an accusative here, for the days of their prophecy. For the days of their prophecy. Kai exousian ekusin epitone hudaton strephane, Alta es haima kai pataxai ten gain en passe plege hosakis eon delay sosin. And they have exousion authority hupaton hudaton over or upon the waters, strephain, literally to turn, in the more of the modern sense, to convert, to turn outer them. The outer is neuter plural from the hudor is a neuter noun, so this is taking the outer out of the hudaton. So they have authority over the waters to turn them as haima into blood. Kai pataxai tan gain and passe tan plage, and to strike, from patasso, to smite or strike, tan gain, the land. Now here's that instrumental use of en passe plage, with every plague, with literally with each plague. We would say with every plague. Hosakis, as often as, now the e'an here is odd. You don't translate it as e'an. It really is equivalent just to an. You do get that often in New Testament Greek as well. So as often as they might wish. So subjunctive from thello. So as oftentimes as they might wish. So for an, e'an, just think of it as an with the subjunctive here. Kai hotan teleso si ten marturian auton, to thurion to anabinon ectu abusu, poiese metauton polymon kai nikese autus kai apoktene autus. And whenever they might fulfill or complete, from teleo, this is a subjunctive again with hotan, whenever they might complete their witness, their act of giving witness, totherion, the beast, to anakainon, now this is a participle, it's a neuter participle from anabino, it's neuter because it's agreeing back with totherion. So the beast, the one having arisen, having come up, ectu abusu, from the abyss, poiese, will make. Now you can use poio plus polymon to make war, much as we do in English. So he will make a war with them. We would say perhaps against them, but we often in English we say with them, make war with them. Kai nikese, and he will defeat, he will prevail over, from nikao is the verb, it's an alpha contract verb. He will prevail over autus, them. Kai apoktene, notice the accent, so this is apokteno, it's the future. He will kill autus, them. So the verb is apokteno with an iota, and this is a future here. So you get a shortening of the vowel gradation, plus you get the SA, the sigma drops out, and you get a contraction here, as we've seen before. Kaitoptoma auton epites plateus tes polios tes megales, hatis kaletai pneumatikos, Sodoma kai aiguptos, hopu kai hokurios auton esterothe. And the patoma is a funny word. It means the corpse, really. It's the body. Often, unfortunately, used of the body minus the head, but the patoma is just the corpse of them. So their corpse. Now it's plural here, but it's their corpses, but the Greeks just got singular, the corpse of them. It is connected with pipto, to fall. So once someone is dead, you have a spear through you or something, you fall down dead, and the patoma is that thing that falls down, so it becomes the corpse or the body. So their corpse, with the verb, there's no main verb here, so you've got to put was. Epites Platea. Now Platea is the main street or the public square. It means the wide place, and in fact in modern Greek, Platea is still used of a square. There are lots of these in Athens, for example. These are big open areas where various roads all meet. So it means the open square, the public square. So their body is on the open square of the city, of the great city, and that must again refer presumably to Jerusalem. Hatis, the very one which, this is agreeing with Polis, Kalatai, this is a present passive, which is called, and now we get the an adverb here from pneumatikos. So it's something like in spiritual language or in a spiritual sense. It is called Sodom and Egypt. So spiritually, perhaps you could say here, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Hopu kai, hokurios auton, where also, kai can often have that meaning. You've got to watch out for kai meaning also in Greek, where also their Lord, estarothe, aorist passive from stauro is the verb, it's an omicron contract verb, where their Lord was crucified. Kai blepus in ekton laon, kai phulon, kai glosson, kai ethnon, and we've seen this combination before. Kai ethnon top toma auton, hemeras trias kai hemisu, kai top pneumata auton, uk aphius in tethenai es menema. And they look they see from the peoples, the tribes, the tongues, the nations, the ethnon. So these must be partitive genitives here, I think. So it's people, those from the peoples, the tribes, the tongues, the nations. So some selection of this group, they look upon topnoma, the body, or their corpse, for 3 and hemisu is a half, so 3.5 hemeras days. We get things like hemisphere and so on from the hemisu is a half. So for a period of time during which here, so 3.5 days. Kai ptomata, that's the plural of ptoma, and their corpses, uk af iusi. Now this is a funny form here. There is that verb af hiemi, to let go. It can also mean forgive, it can also mean allow. And there is a later form, a regularized form of this, where they just take the root I out of hiemi. They've kept the af. They've taken the hi, and then they just add an omega. They regularize it. So instead of af hiemi, you get the form af hio, which is what we've got here. It means exactly the same as af hiemi, it's just a later regularized form. Tethenai is a slightly irregular aorist passive, I think, with the reduplication. No, it's not, I'm sorry. It is a perfect infinitive, in fact. Yeah, this is a perfect infinitive. Again, a rather odd ending here, I think. It's from tithemi, it means to place. So they do not allow their bodies, they do not allow them to place their bodies as menema in a tomb. Just to go back over a bit of that there. So from the peoples, the tribes, the tongues, and the nations, these are partitive genitives, I think, here. Men will look men from these groups, blepusin, will look upon the ptoma, their corpses, literally their corpse, it's a singular here, for 3.5 days, and they will not allow, understand them, whoever they are, tethenai, to place their corpses as menema. This is another slightly odd word here. You normally get menemeon is the word for a tomb. This is just an alternate form of this one, menema, another one of these third declension nouns in ma that later Greeks quite fond of. So into the tomb. Kai hoi katoi kuntes, epites ges kairusin epautois kai euphrinontai, kai dora pempsusin alelois, hoti hutoi, hoi duo prophetai, basani sentus katu kuntes epites ges. And those dwelling, participle from katoikio, upon the earth, Kairusin, they rejoice. Ep autois, over them. So it's a historic present. They rejoice over them. Kai euphrinontai, from euphrinomai, they are happy. This is eu meaning good, and phrein here connected with phrein, your mind, so they are of good mind, hence they are happy, they are pleased. And pempsusi, future from pempo, they will send gifts alelois to one another, because these, the two prophets, now this is from basanizdo, to torment. This is the aorist here from basanizdo. They tormented those dwelling, it can also mean torture, it's quite a strong word, tormented or tortured those dwelling epites ges upon the earth. And that's the first part of chapter 11.